welcome to Triple T Thursday. That's tips, tricks, tutorials. Today I want to have a conversation with y'all about making money as a content creator. And I know some people are like, oh, we don't want to talk about money. You all know that that has never been the case with me. I always want to talk about money because I am of the mindset that anyone who is a content creator should be able to make a living off of it if that is what they want to do, or if they want to make a part-time income, that is, if that's something that they want to do, I think you should be able to do that. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm excited to chat with y'all. It's been a while since we've had a conversation about money. I was thinking about this, back when we used to do the, what I made in a month, how much YouTube paid me. I just thought that those types of conversations were always really critical to have, just so that we could have an open and honest discussion about how much money people are making on YouTube, because there's so much misconception about what's out there, how much people are making and all of that. So, it does say that I have an error starting my stream. One second, let's see, what's it mad about over here? So I do see that Pixel P is in the chat, and so that means we should ask the ever important question, which is, of course, and you know the question, it is, what's in your cup today? So today in my cup is water. Ooh, but I will have you know something special about this cup is that this one was the Sigma Beauty cup that was gifted to us at the Creators and Friends event that was in New Orleans, except when I put it through the dishwasher, all of the lettering came off. And I actually received 2 cups on that trip. I received this one from Sigma. I also received one from Cleona Cosmetics, and the Cleona Cosmetics one has like little fruit stickers on it, but that also has a lot of the stuff coming off, but I thought I would share that with you. So it's water. Pixel Pia, how are you feeling? How are things going with you? Please let me know and give me an update on how everything. You're still a bit out of commission. Oh, I'm thinking good thoughts for you. Goodness. Now, I'm trying to figure out why it's so angry with me about why it's not actually going to all the destinations that it is supposed to. So let me also take a peek at that. So one of the things that prompted this was today I don't know if it was a brand new video, but it did come across my feed today. And that is, I saw a headline saying that BuzzFeed or whatnot was trying to sell off Hot Ones, the show with Sean Evans, where they have the hot questions with hot wings and all that stuff and all these different guests. And they said difficulty trying to sell it. And some people were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they can't sell the show. And I was like, well, actually it makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, a lot of what Hot Ones is so much tied into the host, which is Sean Evans. And Sean Evans, I guess it's just not going to go live over there. So it just is what it is. We're just going to have one less place that we're live. So there's that. So Sean Evans has been the host of Hot Ones for a while. And if you actually talk to him too, he doesn't own the IP that is Hot Ones. This ties in a little bit to the discussion that we had about how it's dangerous sometimes for some brands, companies, businesses to trust their brand and their, their intellectual property and all of those properties to a host, right? So we saw this go down with the Nate channel makers, the kind of discussion that we were trying to have about if you're not the person who owns the company and you're not the person who owns the IP, what does it look like when you're a hired host? And what happens if, the host, who everyone has come to know, love, and trust, what if they step away? What if they, get hit by a bus, or they pass away, or they just decide they don't want to do it anymore, right? You then have this audience who's grown to love, it's like the Jon Stewart show, and then you take Jon Stewart away and it's just like a nightly news show, political commentary. And even when they tried to have someone else do it and then they come in, it's still always like people want Jon Stewart, right? So I know that they've also tried to do some of these shows and properties where they have people interview each other, and Sean Evans isn't even there. But I do wonder if he decides that he doesn't want to be part of it, right? Then what does that look like? But that being said, what they have been able to do is find different ways to monetize the Hot Ones property, which was, the branded hot sauces. And then it was like, the merchandise, or it was, let's say the cutting boards, or I know they had a deal for a short time with a restaurant. I think it was like maybe Shake Shack or Carl's Jr., where they had then licensed out, these hot ones type of burgers to that restaurant, right? Is your streaming error to Twitter? You now have to be, no, I was trying to stream it to my Facebook page. So actually I haven't tried to stream to Twitter in a very long time, but I did read that in the update saying that you did have to. It's good to see you again, Home Rapid Repair. How are you doing? It's good to see you. What's in your cup today? You still have a 4-inch open wound on your stomach. So, oh my gosh, Pixelpay, you are a warrior. I salute you. And I hope that you're feeling on the up and up very, very soon. Okay, so we have all of these properties, right? Then that Sean Evans is kind of not a party to. And, depending on his desire to keep doing this particular show, he is going to command more and more money because as the audience is then wanting him to be the host, right? Or as he is like, well, I'll keep doing this, but you have to compensate me, right? Or the success of the show is really, really happening. And a lot of it is because of me, my questions, my research into these people. So you're going to have to keep paying me. And then it becomes a check and balance between, how much are we paying this host? How much are we making in the licensing? How much are we selling in merch and hot sauce sales? How much are we getting back from the celebrities who are appearing on the show? So you have all of these different questions that then come into play. But if you think about it, right, it's just, it's checks and balances and moving numbers from one ledger to the other. So that is one way that people are going to start monetizing, right? You're going to bring in a host, you're going to find, and there's a whole bunch of examples right here. We've got licensing agreements and we've got merchandise sales and we've got, right? Now, if we think about this, and then of course they've got their advertising, but this is only one of a few. And so let's talk about that. And in the same vein, like how are we as creators making money? And another thing that was also, I am live. Yes, I am. Did you think I wasn't live? Yes, I'm live. And you are here live with me. Oh, I was saying there was an error starting the stream on Facebook. So there's no Facebook. No Facebook for me today. So YouTube. Okay. So if we think about that though, I have some news I'm going to share with you all. So y'all know that I do actually have a beauty channel as well, right? So we have Shelly Saves the Days over there on YouTube. And I was looking at this the other day and I'm going to pull it up here and just verify that my math is correct. I do not spend a ton of time with looking at these numbers because it's really a channel for fun, right? It's for fun and it's not supposed to be any kind of big commitment is what we're going to say. But one, I did think, hey, I have all of these, eyeshadow palettes and whatnot and pieces of makeup that I am doing and putting up on the Amazon shop. Now what I'm doing is I'm also repurposing them, taking out the written audio, using them, cutting them down to shorts, making sure they're vertical and putting them out and then starting a series called Swatching Every Eyeshadow Palette That I Own, just so that I can have, one, a record of it. And, where is it? Customization. Nope. So as I'm doing this and as I'm potentially filming some other little videos, here's some empties or here's some PR that I got, so I did a video like that from some of the stuff that I got from the Creators and Friends trip that I did in Charleston. I realized that I had, 3381. So is that 619 hours to go for the second level of monetization on my beauty channel. So technically I'm eligible already for if I wanted to throw on memberships, if I wanted to do those types of things, that's eligible. So I want full partner program eligibility in the YPP, and that's, the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So one, I didn't know I was that close. And so I was like, wow, it would be nice to have another channel, YouTube channel monetized. And then I was looking at, y'all know, I'm also creating Amazon videos, right? And I'm doing that so that I also can get my videos into the copyright system over on YouTube. And it already has paid some dividends because I have seen some people stealing my videos and putting them on YouTube. So I had to file a copyright claim actually in this last week to get my video taken down. It only took 2 days to get it taken down. So that was great. Where is it? Here. So on my Shelly Shops Online YouTube channel, which is just repurposing all of my Amazon videos, I am at 704 subscribers, which I would have never thought that was possible because it's not that exciting. But on that one, so we're under 900 hours over there. So the goal is to get these YouTube channels monetized, just like my first channel, so that I could finally be making money from some of these, no matter which channel I want to upload to. So that is, of course, one way that we can monetize, and that's going to be through AdSense and making sure that all of that is set up correctly, right? So let's talk about some of the stuff that's happening though on my Yes Monetized channel, and we have talked about this before, and that is going to be the creator connections, right? We've got channel memberships, we've got all of the new shopping integration that has been rolled out. And I don't know if y'all see it, but sometimes you log into your YouTube Creator Studio and it starts to say stuff like, hey, by the way, if you want to, you can earn up to 16, here I'll read. Last chance to earn up to 16% commission with Nordstrom. So Nordstrom does, looks like has this kind of anniversary sale running. And so if you go in and tag some of your stuff through Creator Studio, you're also going to be able to monetize those links, which is kind of cool because the last time that I also was looking at one of these and it says, hey, do you want to automatically tag these products? Somehow it went in and knew that those items were from a specific retailer, or it knew that that was available to a specific retailer and was like, hey, you can monetize this. Do you want to change it to this link? And I was like, well, yes, I do. So you're getting a back injection tomorrow. You know what? So I've had 2 injections now, right? So last year when I had the herniated disc, they first gave me a cortisone shot in my back, and it worked for about a day, right? And then I knew it wasn't fully effective and I was going to totally need back surgery. And I had that last year, right? Almost exactly a year ago. This year though, when I tweaked my knee, so I had lateral meniscus damage and cartilage damage, right? They gave me a cortisone shot in my knee, and this one worked so much better. And I've had so much more relief in my knee with that shot. So I am like 50% of the time it has worked. But in a couple weeks, they are going to be doing they call it a PRP, which is basically your blood like super oxygenated and then reintroduced into your body and injected. And it is supposed to help for some people be similarly like pain relief and give you more mobility and whatnot, kind of like a cortisone shot, but without the dangers of a cortisone shot. So they said you can do that, and you can even do it like annually as part of like maintenance. Whereas cortisone, you're not supposed to have that much in your lifetime, like no more than like 6 shots, let's say, in your lifetime. And you can't have it more than like 6 months since the last one that you had. So the PRP shot is the next thing, and that's in hopefully a couple weeks. And so, because I had told them that with the injection, I was like, I have 65% of like my range of motion and everything back. But like with physical therapy, I got an extra 5%. And I was like, so I'm at 70%, right? So I can do normal day-to-day life now. But I was like, but I need the 30%. I need the 30% for like dance team, for running around after my dogs, for all that stuff. So I don't want to just have the 70% back. Like I want the full thing back. You know what I mean? So there's that. I'm really hoping that the 70% that I have now will be increased a little bit once I do this PRP shot. So you don't understand memberships. Not that I'm monetized, but I wanted free memberships. Okay, let's talk about memberships because I think it's actually a really good chat as part of these different things, because this also goes into one of the other ways that I was going to talk about, which is going to be, hey, that one kid, good to see you. Magic Knight, thank you for the rose. Ziz. Thank you for the roses, as plural. So when we talk about memberships is one of the things that you can offer. And some people would call it like an alternative to a Patreon. And I guess it just kind of depends. And if there are any channel members currently in chat, can I get an it depends? It depends. So with this, there's a few different things that you can offer. One thing that they just released, which I thought was pretty exciting and interesting, was they now have members only shorts. So I really do want to create more of the members only shorts for just the members, so that, you know, there can be something that I don't want to share with the whole world. And I used to like them when we had stories and whatnot, but I think there's something nice to be able to say, like, for the 9 members that I have 9 members. You know, it would be nice to be able to give you like a video like that was just for y'all. And I mean, like a short that's just for all, because sometimes I'll do things like I went and talked at a conference or something like that, and I give you my recording of that, and I do that as members only video. But little things, I think it would be fun to do, like members only live stream, something like that. So you're allowed to choose your own tiers, and you're allowed to choose your own stickers and emotes, as you will, or, you know, you can call them emojis, and different rewards. It can be anything from whatever you think might be valuable for your audience. And here's a conversation piece. If you are a part of a channel membership, or if you've ever thought about doing channel memberships, I'd love to know either what you would offer, or what you found to be valuable, or what you wish a membership offered. So one of those things. Okay. So if you have channel memberships, tell me, what do you offer? If you were thinking about doing channel memberships, what would you offer? If you are a member, you know, what features do you like or wish that a creator would have for you? I know you have any different way to answer that question. Go ahead and answer that question. Leave it in the comments. But so they have some tiers that YouTube is going to set. And so with that, you can offer various levels of interaction, reward, whatnot. And that can be early access to videos. That can be members only videos. That can be live streams where only they can chat. It can be live streams where only they can see it. It could be community posts that only they can see. So all of those are different things that you can do within the membership. And then the creation of custom emojis. Those are limited to however many members that you have will unlock new tiers of emojis. So take that for what you will. So if you want more emojis, you have to have more members so that you get more emojis unlocked so that other people can do it. So you said you did PRP 7 years ago and it didn't help. Oh no. We'll see. And you had nerve block test. This is cortisone, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Trigger thumb. Oh man. Yeah. You know what? I was just telling my husband last night, I was like, I feel old. I feel really old. So I do. Let's see here. So some best practices as well. It says that, you know, I can turn on, technically in this live stream, I could turn on members only chat. So that could be something as well. Like I said, if you wanted to have a members only chat or stream or just videos like that, you can totally do that. You can also do things like maybe you could give a code that was specific to channel members, and if you had specific merch or some sort of product, you could give them that so that they could get a discount on that. And then some people will do other things too, like maybe I'll follow you on social media, or, you know, maybe I'll add you to my close friends on Instagram, or, you know, stuff like that. Now this is going to be different than a Patreon, because Patreon is going to take people off of the platform, and Patreon, right, is going to, aren't we a healthy bunch? I know, right? So one of the things, a lot of people like to do Patreon because maybe it's a little less strict with things like copyrighted music. Maybe you want to do a watch party, you know, you're watching something with, or maybe you want to put some sort of video there. So it's not Sunday. We're talking about different ways to monetize as a creator. So yeah, we're Shoulder Monday too. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. You also have different things where you're going to be able to have little comments like stickers that will signify that someone is a member, like a YouTube member. And then you can also go in and then run a filter and have members' comments. And then another thing you can do, just kind of to bring it back, you can highlight your channel members, or like not necessarily your specific channel members, but that it's an option, and have it as a part of your channel layout in your homepage, and it can show sometimes randomly different channel members that you have. Then another thing that you have are channel members have the ability to have these kind of like stickers or like stars on them, or you can have custom ones, and it's like a little badge, and the badge will change with however long someone has been a member. So sometimes it might be like a month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, more than a year, all that stuff can have different colored badges. So some people will have different team names, something like that. So all of that is possible. Yeah, a lot of people will do Patreon memberships too, because sometimes they believe that not only are there less restrictions and whatnot, but Patreon doesn't take as large of a cut, at least they didn't in the past, until they came up with their new pricing structures. They didn't take as much of a cut as YouTube does, because YouTube takes a significant chunk. It's like 50%, right? So if you can get the people off of YouTube and onto Patreon, which is the real hurdle, because a lot of people don't want to have to leave. And the other thing with Patreon or channel subscriptions or everything else, people are really subscriptioned out, so it's hard, because you're like, hey, I really like this creator and I really like this creator, but like, do I need to have a channel membership for every single one of them? It becomes hard, because once you do that, it's more than the cost of, let's say YouTube Premium or some like Hulu, and it depends on the person's level and tiers, right? So my friend Jen on Jen Loves Reviews, she says like, I have a channel membership, it's $1.99 and you get nothing except for, she does live streams. And so you get the little badge that says you're a channel member. I have other people that I know, they're like, you get your videos 3 days in advance and you get your name on screen. Sometimes they'll do it at your name on screen if it's like above a certain level, because depending on how many channel members you have, right, that could become untenable if you have a lot. So it just kind of really depends. And that's why it's really up for your own, wants and needs for what your channel members are going to be able to get. But another thing is too, you want to be careful with how much you offer, because some people aren't going to be able to sustain it or be able to do it, or, it would be difficult sometimes to feel like you're disappointing people and not giving them something. And some people just want to support because they know you or like you, but it can become difficult too. Okay, so hopefully that talks a little bit about channel memberships. Another thing is, if you do want to turn it on, you can create a short video that is basically, it kind of acts like an unlisted video. You can also make a public one. But so if someone is interested in channel memberships, which they seem to only be able to join from the computer and not from phone, although you can super chat from your phone, or do super thanks, which is also part of that monetization strategy through AdSense, that all gets lumped in at the end of the month. But you can create a short video that kind of outlines whatever you want to say as the benefits or the reasons why you might want to join, said channel's membership. And that will play when people are considering getting your channel membership. And so there's that. So is the commission a lot less on Patreon? Yes. Yes, it is. But it's not built into YouTube, right? So you also have to be very on it when it comes to making sure that Patreon is up to date, the links are correct, and yeah. So it just, and I will say it used to be that it was significantly less. I do know that they raised their prices. Some people were no longer grandfathered in on that new pricing tier structure. So it really kind of depends now on which level, but yeah, it is significantly less. So there's that. And another thing that's nice about it is if your YouTube does get shut down, demonetized, and you get deplatformed, whatever, you would still have people be able to get to you on Patreon versus, you could totally do private Q&A. You could also do it on YouTube as well. You could do streams that only your channel members could see. You can have streams that only your channel members can chat on. And people like to do a lot of those types of things too on Patreon as well. So it really just depends. And you could always then have it replayable and visible only to channel members too. So kind of just depends, right? If there's a channel member, if Pixelpia, you're still around, give me an it depends. I don't have much to give my channel members except for a couple of emojis right now. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Okay. So we've got channel memberships. We've got updated shopping. And speaking of shopping and affiliate link programs and everything, I don't know if I have chatted with y'all much about a program. So very much like Magic Links, which is kind of an aggregator of all of these different shoppable commission links and everything. A friend of mine put me on to, thank you, Pixelpia, put me on to a program called ShopMy. Now this is more so, I would say, in the people that are in lifestyle, fashion, skincare, makeup, a lot of consumable goods and physical product versus, SaaS services and subscriptions of a sort for software-based or cloud-based services. But ShopMy has been an interesting type of new addition because they have basically like a home landing page for creators where you can build your little profile and show and post examples kind of your work that you have being pulled in from like TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatnot, but you get to select the ones. And then you can tag products, and it can be tons of different products. Of course, they have an extension in Chrome that you can be shopping on a website, hit this little site stripe type of action like you would if you were on Amazon, except for it's on any site. And you're able to see if there are commissions available on that product. Sometimes there are not, and sometimes there are, and it will tell you what the commissions are available. And so you can create a short link and then put that in your YouTube description or, description somewhere and make it so that you could make some money off of it. So interesting system, but then they have combined kind of like they're trying to do on Brand Connect in YouTube, where if you have accumulated enough points, and that's going to be from creating and linking products, putting in your posts, completing your profile, all of those types of things, you are awarded points. And once you're awarded a certain number of points, you may be able to like redeem them, let's say automatically if you get to this next tier, which is, let's say you get 30 points, then you get like a $10 bonus sent to you. Or if you get to the next tier after that, which I have not yet, then you get like a $30 bonus. And then if you get to the next tier after that, you get a $50 bonus, and you also have the ability to be unlocked to message brands. And brands are on this platform. So you've got, and I have a box over here that I just received because a brand reached out to me. They can start a conversation with me, but I can't start a conversation with them. Very similar to Brand Connect, where Brand Connect right now, the brands are the ones who are starting the conversations, not you, right? So you're able to message with brands, and you could say like, hey, it'd be really cool if I could get a discount code for my followers, right? Like, I got one with Surratt Beauty or something. Surratt Beauty was also on there because I met them at the Creators and Friends trip. And so like if someone wants to buy something on Surratt Beauty, I have a code where someone can save 15% now, right? So you can request to get a code from the companies that are on this affiliate site, but you can also, if you have enough points or if they like your profile or whatnot, you can request, or they can say, would you like to receive some gifted product from us? Which is kind of an interesting thing because it's all done throughout the messaging system in this app called ShopMy. And so I think Drunk Elephant? No. Sunday Riley sent me a message and said, hey, would you like some gifting items? And they give you like a little catalog, and it's like, hey, pick 4 items from this catalog and we can send it out to you. So I picked 4 items and they sent them to me, which I think is really, really cool. So I have an unboxing to do now that I can put on my beauty channel to try and get to my 620 hours, right? Hours that I need to get fully monetized on that YouTube channel. So I'm super excited. So also I'll be sharing, if you want to follow along with that journey, my quest to be monetized on the beauty channel, because I never really thought I was going to get that close, but I was like, might as well do it now. If I'm under well, I say that I'm 600 hours away from being monetized on the beauty channel. So, and not just, the first layer of like the full monetization. So now I'm like, okay, eye on the prize, y'all. 620 hours to go to get monetized on that channel. So now it's an interesting platform because you can message back and forth. And so I say, yes, I do want to have these products, and they did not give me a discount code, but they did give me some products. I'm like, cool. So now I can go and make some extra videos about those products if I want to over on the beauty channel. But it's just an interesting platform. And if any of you are wanting to sign up for or see if you can qualify for it, do let me know. And I will give you my referral code. I don't know if it helps you get in any faster or better, but if it does, I'm more than willing to give you that. I do know that there is like a relationship where if you bring people and they get approved, it's like I get a small chunk of your commission. It's not like taken from yours, but it's like a bonus of what you make. I get a small bonus on that for referring you to the platform. So it's for a limited amount of time for like 6 months. I get like a 5% extra commission bonus bump on whatever you link and sell, if that makes sense. So I would get mine, plus I would get an extra 5% for you, which I think that's kind of cool. Turns it into a little bit of a pyramid-y thing, but only for 6 months. And if you link nothing within that 6 months and you make no money, then I make no money too. So I guess it doesn't really matter. You can just sign up for 6 months. But yeah. So maybe that's why one of the channels I watch raised and added higher levels for Patreon. Is that the Watcher by chance? Just curious, because one of the things that has happened recently is, not only did Patreon raise their prices, but some of them are doing it because they're trying to almost build, like similar to the Try Guys, they're trying to build their own streaming platform. And so, like I said, though, people are becoming a little bit more wary of doing all of these one-off subscriptions, like here's an extra for Patreon, and here's an extra for YouTube channel memberships, and here's an extra for, subscribing to their thing on Twitter, or, it really does start to add up when you're adding it all up. It does really start to stack up. So, I guess it just depends, and yeah, it just depends. So we've talked a little bit about, basically it's going to be channel memberships or additional content that you're going to be making. That could be on Patreon, that could be on YouTube. One thing we haven't talked about yet is creating courses. Courses are supposed to be coming to YouTube as well. So back a while ago, I did actually upload all of my videos from my iMovie Made Easy course onto YouTube for whenever that does launch one day. At least the videos are up. We'll see if and when that actually becomes something, right? But that's something too. If you do have a digital course, and a lot of the time now, it's people think that it has to be about some sort of course, but sometimes it can be things like templates as well. I know Pixelpia has done it and tested it where she had sold a couple of Canva templates, and I purchased that one, and it was just so that you can package something and be able to sell it, and it's also a digital product. And one of the reasons that I like that, which like if we look at my Etsy, there are physical and digital products, and that's because with the digital products, so I have the animated subscribe button, and that is once I make it, people can download it and it can be in stock forever. The whole thing is that I don't have to do any more work. Once I create it and it's uploaded, people can just continue to purchase it. And that was me putting that time and effort into it once and then being able to reap the rewards over and over as long as people still find it useful. Now, the difference is when I do a product like my swatch stickers, which I'm going to show you because I had 2 sales in this last week. So let's not get it twisted. These things, it can still, it can still happen. It can still work for you. All right, so these right here, if you can't see them, these are swatch stickers. So I make these and I cut them out on my Cricut. So these are done in vinyl with like my little laser cutter, right? And so with this, let's say if you're a makeup person, girly, guy, whatever, you can stick this on your skin. You would do your eyeshadow, lipsticks, or whatever type of product that you're trying to show off, and you do it in these, you know, in between spaces, and then you peel off the sticker, and then you have like a beautiful kind of stencil to show off the product, which a lot of people like to do, especially for eyeshadows or blushes or some, you know, lipsticks, stuff like that. So let me show y'all. When we talk about, this is going to be more of a physical product versus my digital product, which is the animated subscribe button, right? So we've got this. So the problem is this is great. And one of the reasons that I did something like this or stickers or something, because I'm going to show them all to you since you're here. Guys, I made penguins, right? And I've made cowboy boots. Oh, more penguins, more penguins. I got to put those together. We've got these little wavies. We've got my, I can't say Starbucks cups, they're coffee cups because, you know, that's copy. We've got like my rectangles, different rectangles, the moons. Oh, look, I found these so cute. We've got Scotty dogs, right? Aren't they cute? For my plant people, I've got the monsteras, and I've got like these honeycomb patterns. And you may be like, what? People like, yeah, people buy these. A lot of them too. So I've got like kitty cats. I've got hearts. And I've got like butterflies, right? So I've got all these different templates and whatnot. So the thing is, if people want to buy these, great. But I actually have to cut them and, you know, mail them and put the shipping supplies and pay for postage and everything. So while this is great, it still costs me money and time and effort to do this. Whereas opposed to the digital item, I don't have to worry about it because I've already created it once, right? So I would advise, if you're going to do something that's going to be some sort of physical product, one of the reasons why I like doing stickers is because they're cheap to ship. It can usually, depending on how many they buy, I can typically put them in a mail envelope and put them, you know, through USPS. And I pay for postage on it, so it cost me like 69 cents for my little mailing thing, but I still have to pay for my, I do purple envelopes. I seal them with like a Shelly Saves the Day sticker. I have to pay for the thermal machine and the and the supplies to be able to do that. So sometimes when I sell stickers, like I might make 15 cents on it or something like that at the end of the day. So can you sell something, and can you do it without, with enough margin, and do it without like driving yourself crazy when it comes to some sort of physical product? But there you go, physical product. Then the other thing that you could do is have some sort of pod or print on demand type of service where you're going to have, like, let's say I upload my designs to Printify or to, you know, all the big ones like Teespring or, you guys know which ones, right? So let's say you do that and then people purchase them. Then the printer basically will charge you for it, and then they'll send it out. Well, it depends on how you do it. If you do it through Etsy, they will charge you with your credit card on file, mail it out to the customer, right? So that's one way to do it. If you're using someone like Teespring or something like that, a lot of the time the buyer is going to pay directly to the printer, and they're going to, yeah. So the profit margins are typically kind of slim on that. And so because they're paying and taking care of the shipping and, you know, doing the actual stuff, but it's going to be so much cheaper, right, than you having to house all of these blank sweatshirts or shirts at your house and then do the screen printing and then mail them off. So you have to be careful with, however, because people then get upset, you know, your t-shirt costs $40 or something, and that's because all of your profit and stuff got eaten away from the print-on-demand type people, or pod is what they call it. So, Drunken Elephant. I'm not a marketing expert, but how'd they come up with that name? You know, I don't know. it's drunk elephant. I don't know, but it's really expensive too. It's really expensive skincare. Local Philadelphia Eagles YouTube channel, new levels starting August 1st. Yeah. Oh, okay. And he said, I've purchased several courses and booklets, plus 2 very expensive courses and memberships at least. They are on one-time fees. Now they are monthly, yearly. Yeah. And that's, I think, one of the problems too with sometimes memberships or things that you purchase. A lot of the time, if you have something that isn't a one-time type of thing, there are a lot of studies that show that someone, let's say if we're coming back to the course type thing, someone who purchases a course, a lot of the time, sometimes they'll purchase it and not actually complete it. It especially goes up when you don't, if you have like lifetime access, the likelihood and odds of people actually completing the course are significantly lower. And so even if you do something like put a 1-year expiration on access, it can sometimes help because there is some sense of urgency for people thinking that they're not going to log in and they're going to lose their money, right? Now, that being said, there's still people who are not going to do it. I can tell you that for sure. Now, the other thing is if you have some sort of curriculum where you're like, oh, you know what, here's some new information, let me update that. And you're continually having to do these updates. A lot of the time, people will just expect that they get lifetime updates and everything, either for your course, even if your curriculum has changed, even if the, different things that you're teaching have changed. A lot of people can become very, well, I paid for it, I don't have to pay for it again, and like give me all the updates, which can lead to some course creators feeling a little bit resentful because the lifetime value of that person who buys the one course from you, let's say it's a $99 course, is always going to be $99. Whereas if it's something like a 1-year activation or something, and then let's say in the next year there's some sort of like ground revelation and it changes and you want to do a version 2 of it, if you promise lifetime updates, you're not going to be able to get that person to actually also purchase the thing that could be what is a completely new course, right? Because a lot of the time it's going to have to become a completely new course, new information, all that stuff. So the lifetime value of one customer in one type of model is always going to be $99, where in the other one it could be $99 for a year, and then maybe you upscale it into a different offering, and it's $99 for that. So it could be 3-to-1 or something like that, or depending on whatever it is. It just really depends, right? And then there's also going to be, as you tend to go on, some courses and platforms will charge you the more customers or students and heads that you have. So especially it can become, if you have lifetime access, really, really expensive, and then perhaps cost prohibitive if you have to pay a per student license thing where it says like, hey, you only have up to 500 students. And at the beginning you think, oh, it's not that big a deal, but then it's a lifetime license or introduction into this class. One day when you get into the 501, but you have, 300 students who've never finished or who aren't going to actually take the course, then it becomes a little bit like, ooh, that sucks, because you're going to have to pay into the next echelon of it, where it says like, oh, for if you have anywhere between like 500 students to 1,000 students, you have to pay this. And it becomes like really, really expensive too. So people who can't keep their books clean on how many heads have actually purchased licenses can also have it become really, really uncomfortably expensive in just maintenance costs. Another problem with lifetime license is if you decide that you don't want to sell this thing anymore, and I think that there should be some verbiage in the lifetime of the length of the course, not like you being alive, because it could have been you bought that course 5 years ago and you're not even talking about that subject anymore, but because you're still alive, someone still expects they have access to that course. So you're paying a monthly or a yearly maintenance fee to basically host that course that they may or may not ever come back and tune into. But as time and time goes on and more students keep racking up, it becomes more expensive to hold on to that course and just have it there in a holding tank waiting for someone to log back into it one day 6 years later because they have lifetime access. So if that is something that an avenue that you're going to explore, I might try to encourage you to take a look at not lifetime access of a course, but like a yearly access fee Because one, if it's something like, let's say, iMovie Made Easy, where it's 5 hours worth of content, they shouldn't 6 years later still be coming back to that video. I'm sure it's a great video. I'm sure it's a great course, but the likelihood of that being that they need to come back 7 years later to it is probably not that high. And so for me, I did make a change over because there weren't that many people who had paid, for like lifetime. And if it's going to become that big of a deal, if they contact me after I switch to a new system, which like times them out after a year, if they contact me, I will gladly go back in and like just re-add them again. But like it has not yet become a thing, you know? And so let me just put that out there. So look into pirate ship to purchase shipping, tie rewards, cashback to your PayPal. Yeah, absolutely. And then it says, have I ever looked into hosting your own courses on the WP site? Yes, I have. And one of the things, which it isn't a bad idea to do that, it just depends on how much content, it depends. It depends on how much content you also have as well, because if you have to host your own content, you have to worry about a couple things. One, if your course is super duper popular and you have a whole bunch of people trying to take it at the same time, do you have enough bandwidth to be able to have that? But two, a lot of them are going to have limits on how much storage that you have online. And so depending on if you have hours and hours of class footage or materials, or like in my case, I also was hosting a whole bunch of video files so that people could download them so we could edit together and we'd have all the pieces together. You might then have to keep very tight reins on how big are each of your tutorials, or can I host it through private YouTube videos? But one of the problems with YouTube videos too that are private and versus unlisted, anyone with the link can look at it, but private, you have to register each email. And what a nightmare that could become if you're trying to coordinate all of these emails. And not only that, you can only have no more than 500 recipients on a private on a private video. So there are limits on that too. So, but if you're going to put it behind like a password or anything like that on WP, that's also stuff that you have to maintain, because your site could break in some sort of when you're changing over from one WordPress, not just plug into another, but also like themes or PHP versions. If it breaks your site, it just really, it's all stuff you gotta look at, right? But so one of the reasons why I do appreciate the digital products, such as like on Etsy, one thing is it's only going to cost me 20 cents to list it on Etsy, right? And yes, they're going to take their fees when they buy it, but it's really just something I don't have to think about. So there's that. So the last, it's not the last on the list, but one of the last things that I was going to chat with y'all about is Amazon. I really wanted to chat with, if anyone else is doing the Amazon videos, the Amazon influencer program, I really want to chat with that, because I'm seeing all these kinds of changes and trends, and let's talk about that too. So it says, I spent a lot of money for Think Media membership, and they didn't even give you printed materials. Printing that all out was very expensive. Yeah, I bet it was. I have no doubt. Yes. So their Amazon memberships I purchase is always adding more materials and courses. They try to get you to purchase it early, but eventually it's added to the catalog. Okay. Which Amazon membership? I'm curious on that one. So with Amazon, I will say that even though I've continued to make more and more videos and put them up on my influencer page, the amount of money that I have been making every month has been going down significantly month over month over month, which tells me that the saturation and the amount of videos that are out there are perhaps growing quite a bit, and it's becoming more competitive for people to try and get videos out. That being said, I also am starting to see more regulation and more talk about them saying that they're going to be looking at, if you don't have the product, if you're just using stock image photography, if you're not making videos that are substantive and helpful, then maybe they'll get rejected. Or if you're repeatedly putting up the same videos, you might get them rejected, which I'm all for, because I'm starting to see a lot of those just really crappy videos, you know, like I'm going to use the product videos and repost them as my own, and they're getting passed, and they're getting passed on not only Amazon, but they're also being uploaded to YouTube as well. I'm getting really angry about it too, because I work hard to make sure that I always demonstrate or show the product that I have, and they're just reusing it from materials that are from the manufacturer, which I don't like that. So Johnny Bean is in the house. Hello, how are you? We're talking about making money as a content creator. And so one of the ways, right, that we have done is, or I have done, and I encourage people sometimes to do when branching out, maybe exploring the world of Amazon as well. Not just associates, but the world of especially the influencer program. So that's the one we're talking about right now. But I do get a little disheartened by the fact that no matter the fact that I'm putting out more videos, right, I am getting either less reach or less income. So that's why I think it's also interesting that like what is happening when I take all those same videos and I'm starting to put them up on YouTube as well. Am I starting to hopefully drive my offsite revenue as well, so that more people are coming to the platform from my YouTube videos or something like that? We'll see how that's going. So make sense? Great here? Oh, good. Johnny Bean. One of the questions that we posed at the top of the hour was YouTube channel memberships. If you are a part of any, what tipped you over the edge to join, or what was a perk or benefit that they offered that was appealing to you, or what do you wish was offered as a perk or a benefit for someone you want to have a channel membership? So you have an Amazon channel. I've made a few videos. Nice. I was just saying that no matter in this last year, I've made significantly less than I have had in the past when I was making money on Amazon, even though I put out more and more videos. So it's disheartening, but it is still technically, I'm not going to say free money, but you know what I mean. I mean, kind of in a way it is. Yes, I worked for it, but like I wake up in the morning and I just check the report to see how much money I made the day before. You know what I mean? So it's like you work for it, but you it's kind of passive at the same time, right? So there doesn't not seem to be a correlation though with however many videos I post or make and how much money I'm making, because like I said, I made significantly more when I had less videos than now when I have more videos out. So you don't belong to any memberships, but you have it on your channel. Okay, then let's talk about what perks do you offer in your channel membership? How about that you are offering to your audience? And why did you do that versus a Patreon? Because that was some of the questions that have been floating about. So we've talked about merchandising. We've talked about intellectual property, right? So you've got people like, if Hot Ones was a show that was owned by Sean Evans, let's just put aside, Tasty, BuzzFeed, all that for just a moment. First We Feast. If it was like a Call Her Daddy type of property like Alex Cooper has that sold it to Spotify, that would be one of those types of things where you could sell your intellectual property, your show, your name to some other entity like Spotify or, YouTube originals or, Amazon originals or something like that. So all of that is something that could be sold off if you own those rights. So that's going to be another thing. A shout out top members at the start of my streams. There we go. Shout out to all my channel members. I think it's just Pixelpia in the chat right now. That is one. So thank you to you. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you. So we have that. We have merchandise, right? We have our own digital products, whether that's going to be like Notion templates or digital subscribe buttons or whatever. You've got services that you can do yourself, whether that's video editing or whatever you're good at, whether that's Excel spreadsheets and, accounting services or coaching or all of that stuff. That's all going to be something that you can also offer, right? And then we've talked about, your crowdfunding type of items, which are going to be like the channel memberships, the Patreons, the live streams, the super chats, the super thanks, all those types. Physical product, like I said, like my little stickers or other like merch. Do we have other things? And then the affiliate marketing, obviously. So that's going to be stuff like the Shop My and Amazon and all of that. Have we left out stuff? Is there anything that y'all wanted to cover that we didn't cover yet? One of these days I should make a cup, like a mug though. I think I'd do a mug and say, what's in your cup? It's, of course, how to sell on the Amazon platform. Oh, nice. Well, and you're using it as like a seller, right? Not as, yeah, that's a different type of thing. There is money to be made doing those types of things too, if you're able to do it smartly, right? Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that also try and sell the course, excuse me, where they'll go out to different like discount retailers and buy things like super cheap, and then they use the Amazon seller app to like scan it and see what it like sells for, and then see if there's enough profit margin in the calculator to say like, hey, I buy this thing here at this price, and then see if I can like sell it and make a money, a certain amount of target on it, and be like, okay, I have 10 of them, and sell it, because like Amazon will do a lot of the shipping type stuff for you. It's an interesting model if you don't mind going to those stores and hustling and doing the side work of making sure you're profitable. But it also then depends on the inventory of other places. And, as that system goes on, a lot of people are doing the same. But I don't know if it's something like that, or maybe it's something else. Treat stream, where viewers can send you food while you are streaming, like to your physical address, or you just mean like virtual food? Because first of all, if people want to send me food to eat, that I would sign up for that. I'd be like, yes, treat stream me up, people. I'll put in orders. I'm like, here's my favorite fried chicken place. Here's my favorite place for fried rice. Here's my favorite place for Indian food. Here's my favorite. It's $25 for a couple tacos from Taco Bell. You know what though? I'm just like, real food. Oh my gosh, that would be so exciting. Except, the online safety, right? You're like, you don't really want to give people your address. But like, oh, imagine, like, that's just like one of those mukbangs, right? You're like, hey, that would be an interesting, like, if that was a reward or whatnot, and be like, okay, here's our private live stream just for channel members. Y'all are going to send me food. I'm going to eat it on stream with y'all. Can you imagine? That would be hilarious. That would be funny. Then it'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm so excited, y'all. I want all the foods now. Buy me a coffee and buy me a taco. There was a sign that I saw. We were in Miami, and we were at a restaurant. By the way, a lot of the places in Miami are really, really good food, but the sign, I took a picture of it. It just says like, feed me tacos and tell me I'm pretty. And I was like, yes, that is exactly what I want. Feed me tacos. And that's buy me coffee, buy me a taco, all that stuff. That's all going to be inside of that crowdfunding, like Patreon, channel membership, super thanks, super all of that. Super chats. Yeah. Let me just say to the 2 people that are left, we do offer channel memberships. There's not tacos, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have a private stream with tacos just for y'all. Tacos always appreciated. So there we go. We've talked about all those different things. I hope that, you get PayPal. Yeah, I guess that's kind of fun. That would be fun. If people are like, give me money in PayPal, I'm going to go buy food. That'd be fun. That'd be funny. All right, I'm going to go eat dinner. Speaking of, I don't think it's tacos, it's chicken. It's chicken tonight. But thank you all for hanging out with me. I'm super excited that you got to be here with me and we were chatting. And I appreciate all of you. And I hope you have a wonderful week, whatever you are doing. And I will see you in a video very soon. Bye, y'all.